Hey guys, welcome back. Today on the Untidy Artist, we are making the October Birthstone Flower Fairy. The birthstone for October is this beautiful pink tourmaline. I feel like with October, everything should be black and orange and purple and Halloweeny. It was really fun to do a pink fairy for October. So to all of my October birthdays, happy birthday. Let's grab some supplies and get started. If you enjoy this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed, please do. That would be amazing. Okay, the first thing we're going to need is a flower. I found this at Michael's craft store. It's this beautiful pink flower with kind of a ruffly petals on the inside that I thought would kind of look lacy and frilly. And then I have some pink thread, some silver thread, and some green thread. And I wanted to show you, a lot of times when I'm picking out the colors for the flowers, I will also look at the color of the leaves because the colors work together, and I thought these both look just beautiful. I love this grayish green color. I have my Swarovski crystals. These are the tourmaline color. I got them in a birthstone mix. I don't believe this is available anymore. I will try and find a set that's similar to this to link below. I have my E6000 glue because it just holds those little crystals on better, and a toothpick. I've got this really pretty sparkly glitter blend. I like using glitter blends that have different sizes of glitter. It gives you a more sparkly effect on your doll. I've got some Mod Podge and a paintbrush to apply the glue. That will be for our glitter. And then I've got my scissors and of course my very favorite trusty glue gun set on low. I prefer using a low temperature glue gun because it's just easier to work with the glue. And then of course we need a fairy doll. So there is a link below to my basic fairy video. I also just added 6 new videos to my channel where I show you how to take a wooden bead, piece of floral wire, some embroidery floss for the skin and the hair, and twist it into this cute little doll. I've also got tons of different hairstyle tutorials, and I have fairy kits available now. So those links will all be below. We're gonna grab our pink thread and we're going to dress our doll. So starting at the waist, I wrap up right underneath her arms, and then I give her a little pair of shorts. And once again, there is a detailed video on exactly how to dress your doll that I will link below. And then I'm going to take this really pretty silver and I'm going to wrap just right around the top and then give her some sleeves. And this is just going to define the top part of her dress. And I thought that silver just looked so pretty with the pink. And then I'm going to set her aside and grab my flower, and I'm going to pull my flower apart. And one thing I talk about a lot is looking for flowers that don't have a lot of glue holding them together. It's just a lot easier to pull the petals apart and you don't rip them when you're trying to get them apart if they have glue. Then I'm going to start layering the petals together to form her skirt. And I really loved the texture of this flower. It's almost thicker. And then those underneath layers were really light and airy, and I just thought looked really pretty underneath, almost like it was lace underneath, just ruffly and flowy. So once you have an idea of how you want them layered together, one tip, if you ever have flowers that look a little haggard or that they're fraying a little bit because they are made out of fabric, just grab your scissors and kind of trim off those edges. And I actually do this a lot with my flowers. And then you're going to hold it up to your doll. And if you like the way that it looks, you're going to cut an X into the center of each petal, right in the middle, and this is going to allow us to slide the petals up and around our doll's waist. So I do this with all of the different petals. And once again, this is a step that I break down in my new videos that will be linked below. And once we have all of them cut, we're going to start with the top layers of her skirt and slide them up and around our doll's waist. And I start layering them and overlapping them in a way that looks pretty so the petals aren't sitting right on top of each other. And I do pay attention to the order that I put the petals on, because you want her skirt to be nice and full, and you want those petals to be laying nicely on top of each other. And once I have all of the petals up and around her waist, I'm going to grab my glue gun, and using small dabs of glue, I'm going to start attaching her skirt together. Once again, paying attention to how those flowers overlap on top of each other. And this video is a very detailed video, one of the new ones that I just created, and it's how to create the flower skirt, where I give you lots of tips and tricks. So whether you're someone that decides to purchase a fairy kit or you've been making fairies on your own for a while, I hope there are some tips in those new videos that will help you perfect your fairy making skills. So I just do that, tiny dabs of glue, arranging it as I go. I work in sections. I usually do all of the front, and then I'll go to the sides and in the back. And another tip is, while that glue is still warm, I'll slide my hand underneath the doll and hold her right around her waist, and then press down on the petals to kind of form the skirt so it's laying nicely. So you can say I'm just gently pushing it down there. And this is what we've got so far. Then I'm going to take that really pretty green thread and I'm going to give her some gloves and some shoes, and I will link my gloves and shoes tutorial at the bottom. This is optional. I have loved adding this to all of my Birthstone fairies. I think it just makes them look very elegant. And then I'm going to style her hair. Now, I do have a lot of different fun hairstyles. My personal favorite is space buns. I think they're so cute. I also realized I haven't done a curly haired fairy for quite a while, so I'll probably be doing a curly haired fairy coming up soon. This is just a basic hairstyle, and there is a link for this below as well. And next we are going to add the glitter. So I take a piece of paper. I'm going to set my doll down in the splits on the paper. I've got some Mod Podge in this little lid, my glitter and my paintbrush, and I'm going to start applying an even layer of that glitter just right around her waist. And I gently push her hair back because we don't want the thread for her hair to get in that glue, and I'm just adding the glue in a nice even layer. You could also use a foam brush on this part. You could use your glue gun. I prefer using a craft glue for this part because I think the glitter just sticks to it better and it's not quite as thick. And once I have a nice even layer of that glue, I'm going to just dump some of the glitter on top of it and gently press the glitter into the glue until it sets for a second. And then I'm going to take my doll and just gently tap the excess glitter off and put it back in my container. And I loved just the definition and sparkle this gave us right around her waist. See how pretty those different textures and sizes of glitter are? So beautiful. Next up, I'm going to grab my E6000 glue, and I take a little bit of it, put it on the paper. I'm going to grab my toothpick. I've got my crystals, and I only ended up using a couple of these, but I'm just going to take a little bit of that glue. I'm going to put it right at the top of her dress, and then I grab my little tiny crystal that was not cooperating very well, and I'm going to put that right on top of the glue and just gently press it into place, and you can kind of use the toothpick to help you push that crystal into the glue so it sets. And here's a close-up of that. I loved just how beautiful that crystal stood out against the silver thread. And last but not least, I'm going to take, this was the bottom part of my flower, and I'm going to cut 2 tiny leaves out of it. So on one side of this leaf, there was a little bit of pink that I thought was really pretty. So I'm just cutting 2 tiny little leaves. I'm going to use a tiny, tiny dab of glue and hook them together. So we've got this kind of situation going on. So a little bit of glue there. I'm going to glue them right at the top. So we have this little embellishment for her hair. And this is a great way to use the extra pieces when you're pulling apart the flowers. And then I'm going to take that E6000 glue again and put a crystal just right at the top. And once again, my crystal is teeny tiny and doesn't like to cooperate, and I've lost so many of these in my craft room. It's sad. Hopefully one day I will find them. So I'm just putting that right at the top of those leaves. And then so you've just got this really pretty embellishment for her hair. And then I'm going to take a tiny bit of glue. I put it right on the back of those petals, and I'm just gently pressing it onto the side of her head. And that's it, guys. We're all set. What do you think? Once again, happy birthday to my October birthdays. My birthday is actually coming up next month. I'm going to do a fun giveaway for my birthday that I'm really excited about. I do have new fairy kits that I launched this month. This is a project I have been working on for the last year. I have 2 new kits also coming out next month that will go along with the kit I just launched. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate your support. I appreciate everyone who has reached out to me. All of your kind words, all of the wonderful things that you've said, and I love seeing pictures of your fairies. You can share your fairies with the hashtag UntidyyArtistFairyDoll. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please do. And if you are one of my fairy followers, thank you again. You guys are the best. We'll see you next time.